I'd like to welcome my next guest. He is the former University of Toledo Rocket star and current New Orleans Saints wide receiver Lance Moore. Lance, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so you hurt your shoulder in April and it required surgery. How did you hurt yourself and how is the rehab going so far?
Well, it's kind of like a freak accident, I guess. I mean, we were doing an extended squat exercise where you hold the weight over your head and squat down. And unfortunately, I went down one time and the weight went back and my shoulder went forward and it popped out of the socket. And I tore my labrum, had to have surgery. I'm at about 13 and a half weeks now, and the rehab is going well. I mean, I've had the same surgery on my right side, so I kind of knew what to expect, and I've been through pretty much all the rehab and everything before, so I think I'm coming back favorably.
How frustrating is it coming off such a successful season to have a setback like that?
It definitely doesn't feel good. You know, it sucks basically, and but I figure it's just another bump in the road. I've had plenty of obstacles in my career already to this point, and I see no reason why I can't come back just as strong, if not better.
Aside from the injuries that you had this off season, how has it gone so far?
It's going great. It's going great. I mean, I had a successful surgery, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to react and how things were going to pan out for the rest of the off season. But I came back and I started working out, and actually by the end of OTAs, I was actually running routes with Drew and catching the ball and stuff like that. And these last couple of weeks, I felt really good, and my conditioning is there, and just running routes and catching balls again, it's got my confidence where it needs to be. And I may not be 100% with full contact drills and things like that when camp starts, but about 2 or 3 weeks in, I'll definitely be there and playing in preseason games, and I'll definitely be ready to go by the first regular season game.
You mentioned Drew Brees. What's it like catching passes from a quarterback of that caliber?
Oh man, it's unbelievable. I think he's the best quarterback in the league, and of course, I'm playing with him, so I'm going to say that. But I've seen the Tom Brady's in person. I've seen Peyton Manning in person, and those guys are definitely great quarterbacks, and they've got Super Bowls to prove that. But I think for a guy that hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, I think Drew is definitely up there in that caliber of quarterback, and he proves it to us each and every day in practice, and obviously he does, to everybody in the world on Sundays.
Speaking of yourself and Drew Brees, you guys return the top offense in the league, and then you've made a lot of moves on defense that should help shore up some of the holes that you guys had. But yet, all the talk in the NFC South is of the Panthers and the Falcons. How does that make you guys feel?
Great. That makes us feel great. I'd rather them not talk about us at the beginning of the season and let them talk about us at the end of the season. We don't mind being a surprise team. We don't mind that people aren't talking about us being one of the best teams. You still have to show up every Sunday and, perform. And a couple of years ago, they pegged us to go to the Super Bowl, and we finished 7-9. So it really doesn't matter what people say before the season. You got to go out and get those W's on Sundays.
So what are some of your goals heading into the training camp and then obviously in a couple months the NFL season?
Well, my first goal is just to get healthy. And then after that is to get back to full speed and get in there and get good timing with the quarterbacks and the rest of the guys. And, after that, just to win games. I don't really have too many personal goals. I want to perform well, obviously. But when I perform well, I feel like the team is winning. So, W's are first and foremost, and my performance is definitely a major part of that. So I definitely want to play well, and hopefully we can win as many as possible this year.
Now, I want to get a player's opinion on this. There have been a lot of talks from the NFL commissioner about extending the regular season by a game or two. Are you in favor of the NFL doing that?
I would be if they removed a preseason game or two. We play 20 games, so if they want to, add a couple regular season games, then I wouldn't mind that if they took two preseason games away because it becomes such a long season, especially if your team makes the playoffs and you're getting close to 25 games, and that wear and tear is going to take an effect on your body. But it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen, and if they do that, then we don't have a choice, so we'll just have to go out and play.
You guys played in London last year against the San Diego Chargers. What do you think of the possibility of a Super Bowl possibly being held over there in London?
I think it would be a big deal over there. But as far as it being over there and the fans over here not all being able to travel over there, it'd be a tough situation. They definitely would show love over there because, I mean, they embraced us like we were their team over there, and they would definitely enjoy it. They would sell out, and the NFL would make a ton of money, I would imagine. But it kind of takes a little bit away from the Super Bowl being over there because our fans, a lot of them would not be able to get over there and be able to enjoy the game like they do. But I don't know. It'd be tough to see if it happens. I think it's kind of a big deal, just having a regular season game over there. I don't think it would be nearly as big a deal if there was a preseason game, but it was definitely a fun experience, and I definitely look back on it and still think of how awesome it was.
Was the traveling really that big of an issue? Because they like to make a big deal about the having to fly over there and not getting as much time to prepare as you normally would for a normal game. Is that really that big of a deal, or is that just a media hype?
I don't know that it necessarily was because we got there a week early. We played at Carolina the previous Sunday, and we left right after the game. So, we kind of had 3 or 4 days to get adjusted to the time, and after that, you should be pretty good. We play in afternoon games here in New Orleans, so playing in the night game over there on our body kind of felt like the same thing because it would have been around the same time anyway. So I don't know that it was that big of a deal. I enjoyed myself. I'm sure my teammates enjoyed themselves, and it was an awesome win for us.
Now I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about the University of Toledo. First of all, what's your best memory of former head coach Tom Amstutz?
The best memory of Coach Stutz, I think, is just his attitude. I mean, he was a gambler. That was his mentality. He didn't really care what people said about him. He didn't care about what people said about his decisions that he made. And he was Coach Stutz. He was always Coach Stutz. He stuck to his guns, and that was what he was going to do. My best memory on the field is obviously the Pittsburgh game of my junior year, which would have been the 2003 season, and being able to beat those guys when they came into the Glass Bowl.
Have you had a chance to meet the new head coach, Tim Beckman?
I have not met him in person, but I've actually, spoke to him on the phone a couple of times, and we text message probably, once every 2 weeks or so. And I try to keep in contact, and he makes sure that he lets me know with the updates of how the guys are doing and everything like that. And I'm excited for the program. I'm excited for him. It'll be a fresh new change for the university, and hopefully he'll get those guys together, and I know he will do that.
Now, I heard that you were possibly supposed to be a head coach for the blue and gold spring game this past April, but something happened and you weren't able to connect and do that?
Yeah, I was definitely going to coach, and that week is when I dislocated my shoulder. That kind of put a damper in the plans, obviously, and I felt terrible that I wasn't going to be able to get up there. But sometimes things happen, and obviously that took precedent over being able to get up there and coach. Because I had to schedule the surgery and everything like that, and hopefully next year I'll be able to get up there though.
Now, you were talking about that he informs you on some of the guys or how the players are doing. Have you had a chance to watch Steven Williams?
Oh yeah, I've seen Steve for the last couple of years. When my brother was there, I would go up there and work with the guys in the summertime, 3 or 4 times, and try to tweak their routes or just see little things that they're doing wrong and just try to help them out a little bit. I definitely think he's got great potential. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, and he makes big plays. So I'm sure the scouts are aware of that, and they'll take a great look at him this season. And I think if he does the right things, he'll definitely be joining us on Sundays.
Now, I got one last question. What do you remember most about your days at the University of Toledo?
Winning championships. I mean, that was it. I mean, that's why I went to Toledo, because Toledo was a great school, had a great football program, and the guys that came in with me actually won 4 rings. The guys that redshirted, I didn't redshirt, so I won 3 rings. But that was what we did. If we didn't make it to the MAC championship, at least it was a disappointing season. And 2 overall MAC championships, 1 MAC West. That was awesome, and that kind of, I can't say prepared me for the NFL because I haven't won a ring yet, but that definitely has me hungry in the NFL, and I definitely want a ring on this level.
All right, thanks, man. Take care.
Okay, sounds good.